This is a short video on how to draw a table in a paper 6 GCSE question, but it's also the same way to draw a table in Key Stage 3 or even at AS or A2 and beyond. Let's take a look at a unique example. Let's have a look at something that I'm quite interested in, which is cycling. Now, I know that if you increase the width of the tyre, the amount of effort that I need to put into pedalling increases. So let's just put this into some kind of question. So the question would be, how does the amount or the thickness of a tyre affect the effort needed to cycle? Now, one of the ways you can measure how much effort or energy that you're putting into cycling is to measure one of the factors that affect respiration. And one of that would be the heart, because the heart has to pump more oxygen around the body to the respiring muscles. So what we can do, we can take a look at heart rate. So the first thing we need to do is identify what in this question, or what in this statement, that's a question, let's give it a question mark, what in this statement is the independent variable. So the independent variable is the thing that you change. So the thing that you change actually is going to be the thickness of a tyre. So this here is the independent variable. So I'm just going to write IV above that. Now, the effort needed to cycle, now that's going to be the dependent variable. And I've already said the effort needed to cycle, we're going to measure the heart rate. So, when you draw your graph, you need to do the two things. The independent variable always goes on the left-hand side with the units. And every graph starts off with a little T shape like this. Don't worry about closing it off just yet. So just put a T shape in like this. So the independent variable always goes on the left-hand side with the unit. And it's just a case of copying across thickness of tyre. Nothing more, nothing less. So it's thickness of tyre. Now, the rule is you always put your units in the header column. You don't write them anywhere else, only in the header column. So a thickness of tyre we can measure in, let's go for millimetres, so we've got our units. So in terms of the heart rate is the dependent variable. So the dependent variable always goes into the right-hand side of the column. So you just copy it across, heart rate. Now heart rate units are normally measured in beats per minute. Now, one of the things that we're expected to do in a Cambridge method is to do 3 repeats. So you get a mark just for saying repeat 3 times. Well, how do you do 3 repeats and put it onto a graph? It's quite easy. You go repeat 1, repeat 2, repeat 3, and then of course we need the average. So we can go 1, 2, 3, average. And then you can close off the graph. Now, if you are given the independent variable values, for example, the thickness of the tyres might be 10 millimetres, 20, oh, I've just made a mistake because you don't put that in there because you've already put it in the top there. So you go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and that is your table done.